Hello, Blindspot fans, and welcome to another episode of the AFTERBUZZ TV Blindspot After Show. Today we are looking at episode 21 of Whose Uneasy Route, anagram to your new safe house. And we'll see you after the opening.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Things occurred.
Wow. Shut up. Shut the front door.
I feel like those last 5 minutes, like a lot of TV shows say, you have to see this episode, the last 2 minutes are unmissable. No, those actually were.
Uh-huh.
Like, everything else that happened in the episode was like, this is a lot of fun. This was pretty good. This was a great episode. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's deep.
So, welcome to the Blindspot After Show, ladies and gentlemen. With me, I have the wonderful Stephanie Garrett.
Hey guys, you can find me at StephanieG3360 on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. We have the hashtag ABTV Blindspot. We're going to have the live chat up in just a minute, so if you've got something fun to say, throw it into either of those and we will talk.
Yeah.
This episode,
I'm a little speechless, and I'm never speechless. Okay, sometimes I am, but not like tonight, no.
So we finished watching it like 10 minutes ago, so we're like, right, we're still processing this. You know what? Let's talk about, let's start at the end. Let's do this. Let's talk about what we just witnessed first, because holy cow, this is what we've been building up to all season.
Yes,
all those little pieces coming together.
Yes.
And there's a reason they had Tom's body in cold storage, and I'm so angry at them.
I know.
Honestly, dang it, Oscar.
They were holding them on ice for a reason.
Yes, yes, they were.
Damn them.
Yeah, so it turns out that we've had a Xanatos gambit in play the entire time, and holy cow, we just watched the whole thing click into place.
Yep.
So we have Mr. Matthew Weitz, whom none of us like.
Again.
And then there's this jerk.
Yeah.
I don't even remember if we gave him a nickname.
No, we have not.
Tom the Vampire was what stuck.
Yeah.
It's just, and then there's this asshole. Like, that's all I've got. That's all I've got.
For me.
That's not something I can really put on a shirt, mind you.
Right.
That's all I've got. And they come in at the beginning of the episode saying, hey, we're investigating Alexandra's death. You know, we're here to protect you, Mayfair. Like, yeah, sure you are. Popcorn dot gif.
Right.
Great Zapata, like, hi. Nice to see you.
That's
like,
when you know they're coming for you.
Like, great.
Right.
So all of the FBI got hacked. Everything is terrible. We figured it all out. Great. So at the end of it, they arrest Mayfair for first-degree murder.
Yes.
And they have all these pieces like, okay, you were in the hotel room. Her blood was on your hands because you were checking her pulse. Your fingerprints are on everything, which is circumstantial at best. Mm-hmm. And then he concocts this whole almost crazy conspiracy theory, but the thing is, all of it works because, for one, Alexandra wasn't her real name.
Right.
Her name was Donna Halloran, and she's been under investigation from the FBI for like a decade. Mm-hmm. So, okay, well, her file was mysteriously erased from the server. Well, our servers just got hacked. Everything is compromised. Well, that's a happy coincidence. Okay. But the GPS tracker on your car put you at 2 different locations that also overlapped with the GPS tracker on her phone. Well, I've never been to either of those locations. Well, sorry. And we keep seeing these flashbacks of Jane, like, I put the USB drive into the computer. Yeah. That's what erased Donna's file. I put the GPS tracker in the car. That's what edited those. And then, so we went to the second location on a hunch, and we found a freshly dug grave with Carter's body in it, because, you know, that's what you do, I suppose. And he had a note in his pocket that had prisoner ID numbers. Well, they were all the other prisoners that were in Guerrero's cell. So your little thing that you had with him went south, you had him killed, all that fun stuff. And it's like, well, I never saw that note.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's an irregularity in the note that matches a ballpoint pen from your office. Flashback to switching the pens out.
Just going back and back and putting all the pieces together. Oh, he kills me, this dude.
And then, you know, Sophia came back from the dead, and Mayfair gave her the money. That money wound up in Donna's apartment.
Oh,
so which tells me that
bitches.
Which tells me that Sophia is part of this little group. Or that this little group is pulling her strings, like, we know who you are, we know where you live, we're not letting you go.
Right.
You need to do this one thing for us, and then you're off the hook. Otherwise...
Right. I was thinking that too. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Either she's with them or she's being manipulated by them. But either way, like, all of this manufactured evidence fell perfectly into place.
It was brilliant.
And Mayfair's fingerprints are on the bills. Like, there's no way anyone can get her out of this now. And it's just, and you see Jane sitting there going,
oh shit. Jane's just shrinking.
God.
She's like a shrinking violet. She's just shrinking. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Her poor face.
Like, okay, well, I trusted you. Obviously, that was a mistake. And I love that we see that little bit in the preview of her just screaming at Oscar, which... Yeah, for good reason. After all of that, I won't betray my team. I won't betray my team. I won't betray my team.
That's exactly what she did.
That's what you've been doing the whole time.
Yeah, Miss Jane, you're a dirty girl. Dirty girl. Yeah.
Sadly, we have Miss Wilma on Twitter saying, suppose Jane is a bad egg and doesn't know it, like the Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what we had. It's not that she's brainwashed, it's that she's going along with a plan that she doesn't have the full scope of.
Right.
And so it's like, well, you did make these decisions, but you could not have known the consequences. But you still made these decisions.
Yeah, she still made the decisions. And I think she's making them because she's trying to see where it's going to lead her, but she's screwing everybody over by doing it.
She's just in a terrible place.
Yeah, she's in a bad position. And I can understand that.
And there's definitely some corruption going on with Mayfair. She got pulled into the Daylight program. She got pulled into, you know, and she said, when I got pulled in, my brain just... When she's talking with Zapata, Mayfair says, yeah, we were all ambitious once. I got asked to do something by a superior, and it was morally gray at best. I did it anyway. It didn't settle well. I convinced myself it was fine. And then when things hit the fan, that the superior was nowhere to be found, and I had to account for my actions. So whatever you're doing with Weitz, just make sure you can sleep at night.
I was like, well, there you go.
Which is pretty good advice, because Zapata was a part of this.
She was.
Partially being in on with Weitz and partially with Carter pulling her strings.
Yeah, and then, well, they had her by the niblets because they know about her gambling and everything. So she kind of, you know, I think she was a little afraid that they were going to, you know, come after her for that or out her about that, and nobody else knows, you know, so she kind of went along with it. So, but yeah, that Weitz dude, he is a trip. Like, he just came out of nowhere. I mean, he, you know, we saw him, you know, little bits and pieces of him, but man, he's vicious.
Well, and it's good. And what I really like about this, again, for the most part, with the exception of Stitches, which I will never let go.
You're never letting that go.
Never letting that go. Blindspot is really, really good at doing its homework. And so it's been laying all of these pieces all along without really giving us the significance. Like, I'd forgotten about the whole pen thing until it was like, there was an irregularity in the note. I'm like, oh, no.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. Yep, there you go. I think everything that, you know, all the little breadcrumbs sort of start to unfold, you know, at some point. Yeah.
Oh, it was extremely well set up.
Very.
To the point where we're all sitting here going, dang, that is a work of horrific genius, as opposed to, well, that came right the hell out of nowhere. Are we sure?
Right.
Like,
yeah, exactly.
That's when you know, as a writer, you've pulled off a good plan, when your audience reaction is, oh, no, all of the pieces are there, as opposed to, where did you get this from?
Why did that just happen? Really? That's stupid. No, yeah, I
like,
get it.
No, that was not set up. Are you sure that doesn't work? No, they've been using her as an inside man the whole
But you know
time.
what I was just thinking, and this is just a little tidbit of mine that, you know, I guess they're going to try to frame her for this or whatever, but Mayfair. But how... I want to see him, Weitz, and you know he's probably going to have an explanation for this. I'm sure he has an explanation for everything. He's that type of person. Yeah. How is he going to explain that Donna, or what's her name? Mayfair's lady friend. Oh, Donna, her real name.
Yeah.
And Mayfair dragged big huge Tom and Barry, like how they drag him, the two women drag this big huge dude and just stick him in a grave. I want to see him try to explain that way out, because you can just say, well, you know, we weren't there, and how are the two of us gonna, you know, drag this big dude and stick him in a grave?
Sled. tools, put them on a sheet, drag the sheet. There are many ways that two enterprising women can do this.
I know, but I'm just thinking about the physical aspect of it. That's just my little tidbit. So we'll see if Weitz has an explanation for that, because,
Well, and I honestly think that Weitz is not in on any of this.
Really?
Whatever. No.
Oh no, I think he's like a bloodhound. I think he knows something is going on. I don't know, like you said, if he's necessarily involved in it yet, but he knows something is really happening. You really think he's just doing his job?
I think he's one of those characters that he straight up said to Zapata. Well, Zapata figured it out. Like, you're angling for office. You're trying to do this. He's very self-absorbed and very determined, very one-track mind. And when you have someone like that, all you have to do is just kind of point him in the right direction and let it go. And he's been pointed in Mayfair's direction for a while. And so all this organization has to do is use Jane to put the little pieces in place, and he will pick up on them because he is determined to find something on Mayfair. So they've left him those breadcrumbs, and of course he's following them. I don't think he is a part of this organization. I don't think he knows they exist. I think he's just pursuing this case that'll make his career, and oh dang, everything's falling into place. This is great. Why question it?
Oh, well,
Because
I'm
he has
still a little on the
rock
fence about him.
solid case.
Yeah, I'm just on the fence about him. I'm not sure. I need more information before I make my final decision. I'm just on the fence. I'll put it like that.
Oh, I don't like him. I just think that whatever organization saw him and is completely using him like the tool he is.
He is a tool. I agree.
In more ways than one. Multiple definitions.
Well, because Mayfair is going to be, apparently, she's out of there now. They boxed up her office, so we got some new person coming in to do whatever. Probably the person that they want in place.
Yes.
That's what they want.
I'm sure. Well,
because they had to get her out the way.
Well, and here's the other thing, because we got this nice little clip from Prediction saying, "Oh, we're shutting down the Jane Doe project." Well, okay. I have a hard time believing that that's what Oscar and company want, that their big be-all, end-all was taking down Mayfair, because we aren't even close to getting through all of those tattoos. There are so many tattoos, and having Jane just kicked out of the project and the project's not happening anymore, we're not going to look at the tattoos, yada, yada, yada. I feel like that is something that they do not want to happen, because
I agree.
There goes their inside person.
Yeah, and I just pissed a bunch of people off to say that I agree. So I agree. There you go. I agree. Oh, well, I agree.
And for me, that goes hand in hand with there's no way this guy was working with them.
Oh, okay. I'm still on the fence. Sorry, I'm just the way I think. I'm gonna need a little information though. Of course, I'm not gonna get it because we only got 2 more episodes. I'm gonna have to wait a whole, I don't know how long to figure it out.
Oh, considering that we have season 2 confirmed, I am fully expecting Cliffhanger at the end of the season finale.
And it's gonna kill me.
I am absolutely expecting Cliffhanger. This will not have been the first show to do that to me, and it won't be the last.
I know. They give us juicy cliffhangers hanging by our fingernails till like 6 months later.
Oh, usually it's the cartoons I watch that do this to me.
Cartoons?
It's like, it's a cartoon with a plot. Oh my god, this cliffhanger is going to murder me. We're waiting how long?
That's hilarious.
It's the children's media that's like, we're going to cliffhanger you forever. And then the adult primetime shows I watch are just like, it's wrapped. It's good. We're going to go on to next season now. But we've wrapped up like 95% of our loose ends, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
And the kids' media is like, is he dead? Tune in next season to find out.
That's hilarious. I had no idea.
If anyone watches our Transformers after show, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, Keith, what does that say? Hey, chat, what's going on? How you guys doing?
Yeah, Weitz is a defense attorney. It means he's a lawyer, so he has to be good at twisting facts to
for
fix
the government.
His story. Yeah.
To bring out
lawyers for the government.
Oh, yeah. Never trust one of those. A government lawyer.
District attorney.
Yeah.
So, those people.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's like I said, he's a tool. All you have to do is point him in the right direction and watch him go. And that's really all they needed to do for this, because they put all the little pieces in the right place. It's like, great, perfect, wonderful.
Right.
So we've kind of beaten this into the ground.
Yeah.
And we need to talk about literally everything else that has happened during
Was there anything else? I mean, really? Outside of that?
The FBI got hacked, and we had one of those great little horror movie moments of the call is coming from inside the house.
It's inside the building.
Have you checked the children?
Right.
Yeah.
That was good. I like that though.
And I like that they did the fun little thing where they split up the team and then reconvene and split them up again. I kind of like when they do that as opposed to having everyone go as one unit.
Yeah.
Partially because it gives us more to talk about.
Yeah.
And partially because it allows for a little more character development that we don't necessarily see when everyone's going in as a unit to do things.
Right.
So we have people in different places, in different teams, and a lockdown drill begins. So we have Kurt talking with Dr. Borden, and they're talking about sports. We have Jane doing gym training with Patterson. We have Mayfair and Zapata stuck in a hallway. Talk about the most awkward. You're stuck in a hallway with someone who's like, oh yeah, by the way, I don't trust you. Because I've been talking to this DA and it's just, and Mayfair's got a really good point of how am I supposed to be your leader if I know you don't trust me?
So it is a great point. Exactly.
So I have to wonder, and I'm sure we'll get a lot of this next episode, what Zapata's takeaway from this is going to be. Because we mostly saw Jane's reaction to what was happening because we see her remembering, I did that, and I did that.
Oh, yeah,
and oh my God, I am an accessory to this.
Yep.
Oh, this is bad.
Big one.
But we don't see a lot of the team reacting. So I'm looking forward to seeing that next episode, especially with Zapata. And then with Reed.
Oh, yeah, Reed.
Like, those that, like, we know Kurt's going to come down hard on Mayfair's side and stay there. Like, he's predictable.
Yeah,
we need someone like that. But we have Zapata, who definitely believes she was up to something. And we have Reed, who was talking with her about this sort of thing, was helping her try to figure out what the heck happened to Carter and got threatened because of it. Like, he knows that information and hasn't told anyone except her.
Right, except her.
And now she's supposedly compromised. And so his situation is, did she actually do this? Was she the one threatening me? Were her associates threatening me? Is she a victim of something? Like,
well, yeah, that was done, you know, obviously to bring her down, but it's done to break up the team and the team have the team question, you know, her honesty and question whether or not they trust her. You know,
so I'm really looking forward to seeing just everyone's reactions next episode.
It's gonna be good.
But yeah, so we have awkward hallway conversations, and then we have Reed and Sarah and Kristen, who was doing power of attorney stuff with Kurt and with Sarah, all stuck in the elevator. And I want to talk about the elevator conversation first.
Hilarious.
Kristen is useless.
Kristen was 3 sheets to the wind after she took her meds.
I can understand extreme claustrophobia. I can understand, like, I get it, and this is the thing that really screws up people. I understand that.
Yeah.
But for Kristen, it was definitely played for laughs.
Oh, yeah. She was good, though. That character was pretty funny.
She was hysterical.
Oh, yeah. I like when they add those nice little characters in there because it brings a sense of whimsy to the such a heavy episode, you know.
We needed a little levity, and then her talking about, oh, it's like the movie. It had the actor who had, like, the head and the face and all that stuff, and the hands. Doesn't matter. Anyway, just like...
She's like, anybody get Xanax? Prozac? Anything? Like, who has drugs like that?
Some people.
I guess she needs to go to Hollywood.
just the movies thing. It's like looking in a mirror because I'm like, oh no, the guy who played this character, like he's the dude, and he was also in. Heck, if I can remember anyone's names.
She was hysterical. I liked her.
If you throw out an actor and you're like, actor name, and I'm like, who on God's green earth is that? Oh, they played X, Y, Z, and Theta. That guy.
Of course, it's that guy. You don't know the name.
I live in LA. You'd think I'd know these, but no,
we don't.
No,
we don't.
No. I know voice actors. Anyway, priorities, right?
Yeah.
So Kristen was just the comic relief for this entire episode. We really kind of needed that. And then Reed and Sarah were having a nice little non-conversation about their relationship and what had happened, with Sarah not really wanting to talk about it and saying, look, you're just like my brother. He doesn't know how to let people in either. Thank you for cutting it off before I introduced you to my kid.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I was a little sad by that. I was like,
no idea he didn't know Sawyer.
I didn't either. I thought he met Sawyer. That kind of confirmed it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, that is honestly what I thought too. I was real surprised.
Yeah, because they seemed hot and heavy, and like it was getting serious, and he had been to the house, and I didn't know.
Yeah. So that was wild. That. Okay, poor Reed. Because I think he was getting ready to tell her, hey, it's not what it looked like.
Right.
Because then at the end, he was like, I need to tell you something. And she goes, yeah, we're moving to Portland.
I know. He's like, huh? Huh? Portland?
Sawyer needs to have a relationship with his father. That's where my ex lives. And if anything had happened to me, what would Sawyer have done? Like, because they nearly plummeted to their death in an elevator.
Yeah.
Which, yay. Awesome. Wow.
And of course, Kurt comes to the rescue to rescue them.
Yeah, using the fire hose. I love... Because the last time I saw a fire hose used like this, it was Die Hard. And let's be real, fire hoses cannot hold that much weight.
I agree.
Because Die Hard is pretty dang like, yeah, no.
A good
So
movie, though.
actually having it be, okay, we're going to pull you both
That
up.
is your no from Die Hard. That one part. That of all the things. Not
It's
when he, like,
topical!
Not when he falls down the elevator shaft, but just happens to catch that one spot to crawl into.
Oh, good.
Yes,
sorry,
but
I'm sorry.
this is what's relevant to the conversation at hand.
Yes.
I'm not saying that's my only how do we physics moment about Die Hard. I'm saying it as a direct comparison to what happened in this episode, wherein they tried to lift two people with a fire hose, and the fire hose started to rip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are you there? You good? All right.
We're good. We're good.
We're arguing with our booth guy
And you
tonight.
know what I was thinking? It just my still. I was thinking, God, I'm glad nobody's chubby. Because if they're trying to lift a chubby person, they'd be screwed.
I was honestly having this moment of they're going to kill Reed right here.
I kind of thought that too. I thought,
And then
no,
they
he
did.
can't
I was
die
like,
in this
oh,
episode.
hallelujah. They certainly set him up to take a 70-story plumb. And also, running up 70 flights of stairs.
I know. I was like,
Holy
oh,
hell.
my knees were hurting just looking at him. I was like, oh, no, thank you.
How are you still alive?
Right. I mean, I know they're in good shape and everything, but damn.
You know what? I'm willing to hand wave that. Just like you are in better shape than I will probably ever be. So like, just yeah.
You go right ahead. I'll wait down
Cool.
here. That's
Do
what I'm
the thing. Win the stuff.
Right.
Fiction, I'll allow it. It's not as egregious as the Stitches. That's my bar. That's my bar.
He did almost get suffocated in the room, though. Again.
I had surgery on my jugular, but I'm okay.
Right.
Honey, no. They won't even let you out of your bed.
Right.
Not that I've ever had surgery on my jugular.
Oh,
mind you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, okay.
We're having way too much fun in here, I
We
swear.
really are.
Oh my
It's been
God.
great. But we have 20 minutes to burn through literally the entire rest of this episode.
Oh, let's go.
Turns out the hackers are two people named Nicole Serrano and Carlos Wanzer, and they evidently turned over the Mexican Secret Service as well. They are inside the building, down in the server room in the basement, basically hacking the servers and trying to get the file that has the identities of every single undercover agent in the FBI that's active right now, which, you know, compromises pretty much the entire FBI.
Yeah. That's actually a pretty brilliant plan, too. I was thinking, ooh. And they were saying that the cartel's going to pay big bucks for that.
Well, and evidently
everybody.
they've been in this since August, and it's, I have no idea what time it is right now in Blindspot land, but it's definitely longer than August. So this is something, evidently they had good enough security profiles, or they hacked good enough background checks to be able to get jobs as custodial staff. They've been setting this up for forever.
Yeah.
And just about pulled it off. They had the file at 100% before they caught him. Like that, it's pretty ballsy.
Yeah.
For the most part, it worked. They did a lockdown drill, which closed all the doors. They locked Patterson out of the system. And I wish I had written down what the error message was,
I don't know. I didn't get it either.
but it was extremely English.
Like
someone whose English is not their first language wrote this in a hurry.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
She's
no,
like,
this is
huh?
super English.
Right, yeah. How'd you like her big thingies she was talking on? I don't know what they call
I
them.
love those walkie-talkies. Oh
Yeah,
my
I know.
gosh.
Gigantic, like enormous. Like, hello,
yeah,
hello,
with the
can you hear me to the
backpacks.
moon? Yeah, I know.
Well, we actually had at one point when cell phones first started, it was like a whole backpack unit and a whole big thing with the corded phone attached. And my dad was in the military at the time, and we were taking a vacation and driving through Yellowstone. And because this cell phone thing now existed, we had to keep it in the car with us in case they needed to contact him.
Yeah.
Because
Well,
he
yeah.
was fairly high up on the chain. And so seeing this is like, hey, it's like our Yellowstone trip. Remember that?
Yeah, the military's always had cell phones and internet. We just, they just decided to give it to us years later.
Well, we're of the generation that grew up before the internet was a thing.
I know. At least I am.
No, I did too.
Okay, good.
We didn't start using it
the
till
world
like,
without cell phones and without the internet.
we didn't start using it till third grade. Netscape Navigator.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Yeah. I think it was mostly used in education settings.
Okay, good.
I never saw it outside the school library.
Yeah, I think I might have been, I don't know, in college by then.
Anyway, yeah, so seeing those was like, hey, blast from the past. I'm not surprised those still work. They find out the call is coming from inside the building. They basically send them down to try to find these guys.
Yeah.
And when they managed to shoot Nicole, which that didn't go well, so she's a little dead.
Yeah.
Carlos gets away, still has his tablet. Patterson tracks him down, sends Mayfair and Zapata after him. And I love that they were in the evidence locker and they got all of their munitions from there, including something that's able to just burn through door locks.
Of course they did. That's so convenient.
It's the expedient route. Let's just go. Let's go. Let's do the thing. Thank goodness we had whatever the heck that was in evidence.
Yeah, I know. I was like, really? Okay, that's handy.
And I legit have no idea what it was.
I don't either.
It was a thing.
It
worked.
was a thing. It worked. That's good enough for me.
It was a plot device. That's what that was.
To open the doors.
So they managed to chase him down, and he says, look, I have control of all the elevators. I will bring them up to the top floor and then drop everyone. Unless you let Nicole out, you have 10 minutes. It's like, well, we can't release her. She's a little dead.
She's kind of dead, yeah.
And we can get control of all of the elevators except for Psyoc. Except for the one that we're using, that the named characters are in.
Yeah.
So Reed and Sarah and Kristen. It's like, okay. So we're going to sprint up 70 flights of stairs to meet them at the top.
Yeah.
Because he's brought all the elevators up to the top and get them out that way. Like, all right. Sprinting 70 flights of stairs. Okay.
And they got up there pretty quick too.
I'm willing to stretch it because adrenaline is a thing, and they got up there in 5 minutes flat.
That's awesome. I wonder, can you really do that? I don't know.
Well, Mythbusters is over, so.
I know. Somebody do that and let us know.
Good luck, guys. Good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun with that.
Time yourself.
They managed to get Reed out in the absolute nick of time. They shoot Carlos, but the elevator's on a timer, so it drops anyway. Everyone else is fine because Patterson can control them from the server room. And basically, yeah, their entire server farm has been compromised.
Yeah.
That is a bad place to be.
Ooh.
Like, I work IT, and I don't do the server side of things, but I know enough to be like, ooh.
Really?
Yeah. Well, and also the building is kind of on lockdown as far as communications go because they thought they might be working remotely, and so they cut all of the wires, the phone, the internet, the everything. So then they have to go through and get things rewired. And
I thought it was pretty cool that Patterson knew exactly what to do.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the wires and all that. That's pretty good. She's good and handy.
See, her job is to know pretty much all of the things. And they do it in such a way that when she does know all of the things, we're like, oh yeah, Patterson would totally know that. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, okay, good for them.
And
at
then
least somebody knows.
And then when it's other obscure little factoids, like when Patterson got kidnapped, the name of the star in Taurus, Zapata knew that. Just random trivia that people know that works into it is like, oh yeah, no. I am a fountain of useless information. So it's like, yeah, no, I know a ton of weird random trivia. So
yeah, I kind of do too. Some stuff I do, yeah.
So it's that sort of thing. I'll buy it. It works.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wanted to talk about?
Let me see.
That we missed.
Did we miss anything?
I'm trying to see if there's any quotes I wrote down. Most of the quotes that I wrote down we already talked about.
Yeah, I think we did everything. That was the most shocking thing was the ending.
Yeah, because a lot of this episode was, running around chasing the hackers. We talked about most of the personal stuff. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of personal stuff on Jane's side of things. Aside from you owe me 2 drinks.
That's it.
Goodness knows if she'll ever collect those. All right.
Okay.
We are going to move on. Chat, if there is anything you think we missed, now is a good time to say it because of that lovely little minute delay. In the meantime, we want to talk about iTunes. Because iTunes is a good and wonderful thing, and you guys should subscribe, and you should comment, and you should leave reviews, and you should rate us 5 stars because you love us, and that is how we as an after show stay on the air. Is your comments are our lifeblood. They really super help.
Yeah,
like
thank
our
you for the
producers
nice
read
comments.
them and go, okay, we should keep this after show. People seem to like it. And when you leave a comment, you get a shout out on a show. We have a new one.
Yeah, a
from,
nice
like,
one.
3 days ago.
A nice one.
From Love This After Show from Spectra27. I usually watch on YouTube, and this after show is super fun to watch and a good way to make the show seem a bit lighter when the show takes a turn for the dark. Yeah, that's because I make dumb jokes about everything.
We both do, I think.
Yes, but I'm willing to own up to the dumb ones.
Okay. Alrighty. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I cannot read your
can't
screen
do
for
that.
AMAISS. Amise. Will she erase the tattoos? That is an
question.
interesting bit, because she was talking with Patterson about this at the very beginning. And Patterson makes a comment about, you can get the tattoos erased. Like, as a fellow agent, I should tell you to keep them, but as a friend, your body, your choice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of intriguing.
Yeah.
Because it's also looking at Jane's life after whatever this is. If there is an after.
Yeah, if there is an after, that's the thing. What is it? What are they saying?
They're finding the hot wiring of the doors really interesting. The murderers might get off because evidence tampering. 2 weeks in a row, Patterson kicked ass. Yeah, Philip Baker, you are absolutely correct.
Okay, and they're talking about the commercials from the cast, I guess. They did some commercials. So.
We skipped the commercial.
We did.
We did because we were watching the show. Yeah. When you're on a time limit, you fast forward through commercials.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it is. We don't really have news and gossip aside from season 2 has been confirmed for a good long while. So I think we can swing right into predictions.
Let's do it.
Let's do the thing.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I love the Laser Light Show.
All right.
So yeah, Mayfair has definitely been framed for murder. Jane is the only one who knows for absolute certain that it is a framing. But she can't really come forward without revealing all of the things.
That's right.
And getting Kurt killed in the process.
Yes, exactly.
Because they're still kind of, that is the stick part of the carrot and stick equation.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's going to be a real problem.
Someone else comes in saying they're shutting down the Jane Doe project. Mayfair is pretty much being arrested. Just like everything's kind of going to hell.
Yeah.
It's very action-packed. We get this nice little scene of Jane looking shocked and having blood on her hands. We get another scene of her just screaming at Oscar.
Oh, yeah.
Which-
She's giving it to Oscar.
Bro, at this point, you deserve it. You do. I won't betray my team. I won't betray my team. Yeah, we've been having you do that the whole time.
That's why you're there, sweetie. So, yes.
Like, yeah, sorry about it. Sorry, not sorry. So do you have any predictions?
Honestly,
we got 2 episodes left. It's going to go wild.
I don't even, I was sitting here thinking, I don't really know which direction it's going to go. It's a trip.
This is a hard show to predict.
It is.
Especially since a lot of the previews we get are just like action scenes cut together with terrifying voiceover. Ta-da!
And that's all you get.
It's all hype and no plot.
Yeah.
Which is good because the episodes are all plots. Like, thank goodness.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think that the fact that Mayfair is kind of out of there, for the moment, leaves the door open for for my favorite person to come in, whoever that may be, the new devil coming in, the new evil person.
And then there's this other asshole.
And then there's this other, right?
There's so many of them.
They just keep coming. They just keep coming.
It's a revolving door of white guys in suits.
And they're all starting to get one note to me. That's what I was gonna say. Can we get a woman? Can we get a brother? Can we get a sister up in there? Yeah. Can we get an Asian person? Let's get somebody else in there in a suit.
They are literally all white guys in suits. Oh my God.
I know, think about it. Right. We need a Devil Wears Prada. Some chick, say hi, good morning, hi, coffee. And she's going to stab you in the neck. That's what we need. A woman.
I would be down for that.
Yes, that's what I want.
My
God.
God.
I hope the writers hear this.
Sweetness with an edge of arsenic.
Yeah. Exactly. Because she'd be the most vicious one of them all.
Season 2 villain.
Yep.
Season 2 villain.
That's what we need in season 2.
If only for a couple of episodes. Give us that.
Because they're giving us the same villain over and over and over again.
Yeah, it's just a white guy in a suit with a different agenda.
Yeah, everybody, and they all have,
And I mean, I understand that white guys in suits are usually evil, but come on.
I like white guys in suits. I'm just saying. Can we get a little variety?
But as far as plots like this go, the second a suit shows up, you're like, oh boy, here we go.
Yep. Even if it's a black dude in a suit, I'm like, oh, here we go. Another man.
Any given procedural.
Yeah.
If someone who's not part of our main cast shows up in a suit, you're like, oh, yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
This, I don't know you, but the suit says you're evil, so we're gonna roll with it.
Right. But I don't have any other predictions. I'm sorry.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Neither. The previews are all style and no substance, which I believe is the point.
Yep, they're gonna give it to us in the end.
Yeah, like I said, all I've got is that I really, really think that we are.
Somebody said, "Oh, Glenn Close is the new devil."
Thank you, Philip. Yeah.
Philip Baker. That's a good one. I love Glenn Close. Or Ellen Barkin. Ooh, I miss Ellen, honey. She's vicious. I like her. She's a good actress.
Yeah,
Any of those ladies would work for me.
Yeah, the only prediction I've got is that we're going to end this season on a cliffhanger. Yeah. Because we've known that we were getting season 2 for months, and they had plenty of time to work things for that. So it's a long prediction. It's going into the end of next episode, but I honestly think the end of the season is going to be some sort of horrific cliffhanger, and they're just going to let us stew in it. They did it for the Oscar reveal.
They did.
Here's a video of you.
Yeah. Who is he? What is he doing?
See you in 3 months.
Right. Exactly.
All right. Well, I think that is about all we have tonight.
That is.
Stephanie, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me at Stephanie G3360 on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Check out my YouTube channel for jewelry making videos, red carpets, and a lot of other stuff. Go pop on over.
And I'm Katie Cullen. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, and YouTube at Kiaxet. That's Kiaxet. I'm also on Snapchat at Kia Prime. The YouTube channel has finally started getting content on it again because reaction videos are a thing. I am on Arrow on Wednesdays. Turn has only just started. It's a little earlier on Tuesdays. Robots in Disguise, the season finale is this Sunday at 7 p.m. And Red vs. Blue is just around the corner, you guys. More information as events warrant. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We will see you next week. Bye!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.